And with us on the broadcast this minute is Parvez Kareem Abbasi, who is assistant professor at East West University, Dhaka. Thanks very much for being here. Will Pakistan apologize to Bangladesh over the 1971 atrocities, according to you?
Well, I can't speak for the Pakistanis, but again, from a Bangladeshi perspective, I would be happy to shed some light. Because again, what has happened over here, that as you rightly pointed out, that this is the sixth bilateral consultation, and this is the first such meeting after 15 years. But the fact that, again, when in the event of such a momentous visit, or again, what would I say, is a thawing of the frost, it is very indicated that Bangladesh has raised several issues which it has rightly claimed as unresolved historical disputes. Number one is, and I think this is the most important one, is the formal apology for acts of genocide committed by the Pakistan armed forces and their collaborators. So the interim government, despite being alleged, despite allegations of, at least in some sections of the Indian media, is that being very close to Pakistan, this in itself shows that, again, it is doing its bit to, again, show that it is also honoring the legacy of 1971, and it's also sensitive to the majority of the people's perception about what had happened in 1971. So that is not resolved yet. And it's important that this should be raised. And also the second one is also, this is very interesting, a $4.52 billion compensation that has been asked. And again, this will, after careful calculation, is because all the amount of outstanding foreign aid that East Pakistan used to get, because Bangladesh used to be East Pakistan from 1947 to 1971, the unpaid provident funds, the savings instruments, and $200 million worth of loan given by international donors for 1970 cyclone. And let us not forget that from the late 1940s to all the way to mid 1960s, the main export revenue of all of Pakistan was jute earning, which came completely from East Pakistan or present-day Bangladesh. So Bangladesh asking for its due share of the unresolved proceeds shows, again, its desire to chart its own independent trajectory as of now, and not to be closely aligned with any one camp, at least in terms of the global and local media. And along with this, also, it has also raised the very thorny issue of the stranded 321,000 Pakistanis, out of which only 26,000 have been repatriated back to Pakistan. So those outstanding, yes, Bangladesh has indicated that it wants to go forward in terms of trade, connectivity, and commercial engagements. But the fact that the interim government itself is bringing these issues on also shows that it doesn't want to be very closely aligned with any one particular country, let it be Pakistan or China or United States.
Right. Do you expect Ishaqdar to carry a formal apology when he visits Dhaka? And like you touched upon that amount, do you expect that to actually come through? What can possibly happen in your view? What are your expectations?
Well, as a Bangladeshi, I would expect that, again, the historic wrongs that has been committed in 1971, that should be also resolved. And again, that should not stand in the way of mutual engagement. And we have seen this interaction between India and China. Despite fighting a war, they are also having healthy relationship in trade and investment. However, if you can judge from the Pakistani media, again, the Pakistani economy is also not in the best frame of a state of affairs. Again, it's also, like Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, has taken IMF loans. So the amount of money that it could want to come up with, that's debatable. And number two, again, whether the Pakistanis themselves, and with the strong pronounced role of the Pakistan armed forces, would they actually issue an apology is, again, a matter of very great political sensitivity in Pakistan. But in terms of carrying out a peaceful resolution of relations between Pakistan and Bangladesh, I believe an apology is the right step forward, but the ball is in Pakistan's court. But also that also underscores that Pakistan also is desperately wanting to expand its trade footprint. And because last year they exported around $620 or $650 million worth of goods, and we have only exported around $61 million worth of goods to Pakistan. So again, the trade deficit is high, but there is we also want to diversify our cotton requirements, as it is We not only import cotton from India, but we're also diversifying it from Argentina, Australia, Brazil, and increasingly Pakistan. So, and again, cotton is the staple requirement for our ready-made garments, which
Okay.
constitute 86% of our exports. So if Pakistan wants to engage in greater trade, so they must, again, engage in the sensitive areas of in which the Bangladeshis find, again, that, again, a redressal is required.
All right. We're leaving it there for the moment. Thanks very much for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your perspectives. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.